everybody! So I am here today to continue on my series of the ABCs of my Blu-ray collection, and today we're talking about the letter P. And I have done all the other letters except for O because I didn't have any O's, so I guess I have to work on that and get some O's in my Blu-ray library. But I have some great P's, so I'm excited to talk a little bit about them and why I like them with all of you. There's some good variety today. So the first one that I have is Paranorman, and this is a film done by Leica Studios that did this year's Box Trolls. So if you saw that, then I think that you will enjoy Paranorman. I think Paranorman is a little bit better. I really liked Box Trolls, but this is more for teenagers. It actually has some pretty good little jump scares. It's really funny. The characters are good. It's got an interesting story about this kid who can see ghosts and dead people. It kind of has a bullying theme, but it's not too heavy-handed. I really like it. So definitely, if you haven't seen Paranorman, I just watched it again over Halloween, and I liked it even better the second time, or third time. So go check it out. Next, I have the Peanuts Holiday Collection. So much fun. It is A Charlie Brown Christmas. It's a great pumpkin Charlie Brown and a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. And they are all very lovingly drawn, our favorite characters from the comic strip. And there's the great music by Vince Guaraldi. And it's simple stories with a nice message. And I love how sort of depressed and sad Charlie Brown is. I guess I could always relate to that a little bit. I think that sometimes we are scared of like acknowledging that kids can kind of feel down and have a bad day, and that's okay, and they don't have to be happy all the time. And so I really like Charlie Brown for that reason, and the way that he's just sort of so practical and he's a little bit cynical. So I love the Peanuts. What can I say? I'm cautiously optimistic about the Peanuts movie this year. We will see. After Mr. Peabody and Sherman was so good, I am actually feeling pretty good about the Peanuts movie, but we will see how it goes. Okay, next I have one of my favorite movies ever. I liked it so much. I saw it in the theater twice in 1 week. I saw it 3 times in total in the theater. I've watched it so many times, and it has not gotten old. It is such a great movie. It's The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I love it. I think it is so moving. I think it is funny. I think it's sad at points. It's just, I love the characters. I felt, this is the first movie that I ever felt nostalgia for that wasn't made when I was in high school. But this movie could have been made in my high school with some of my friends, and I loved the way that it felt like real conversation, and it felt like certain scenes felt really authentic to me, like when they're at several different parties. It felt like instead of the over-the-top party that you see in so many high school movies, it felt like a real party where they're just like hanging out in a basement and drinking from, cups and hanging out. And that to me was really cool. I just love it. I love the music. I love the camaraderie of the friends, and it's something I really related to. And I guess my friends were maybe the Wallflower types too. And it's just one of my favorite movies ever. I love the idea of that we take the love we think we deserve, and so we just have to convince ourselves that we deserve better, than we deserve something good. And it's kind of the message of the movie, and it's just one of my favorites. Okay, next I have my favorite comedy of the last few years, and that's Pitch Perfect. I think it's really funny. It just makes me laugh. And acapella, it was a big thing in my college, and so it's something that I kind of related to, and I think the music is really good. And the only thing I really don't like is maybe the throw-up scenes are kind of gross. But other than that, I think it's hilarious. I think the commentary between Elizabeth Banks and I can't remember the other guy's name is hilarious. I love Rebel Wilson. She's so funny in this. And definitely one of my faves. Okay, next I have 2 Pride and Prejudices. Yay! Okay, I have the BBC version, of course, with Colin Firth and Jennifer Ehle. And it's a lovely version, of course, if you have the 6 hours. And it's very by the book. It's very accurate, and it's fabulous. You can't, if you're an Austen fan, you have to like this. I mean, I can't imagine anyone not liking it. And, you know, you've got the scene with Colin Firth by the swimming, like that's great, and all of his long stairs and everything. It's so good. Okay, next I have the Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice, and what I like about this movie, I know some people I don't like it as much as the BBC one, but it is short. But what I like is that it's really, because most versions of Pride and Prejudice are about Darcy changing for Lizzie, and this is really actually, I think because maybe Keira Knightley is the star, it's about Lizzie changing for Darcy. And Darcy really isn't that big of a jerk in this. He's kind of just shy and quiet. And I guess that's a form of sort of pride. And I like that. I think it's kind of a cool take on the story. And I think it has great supporting roles. With the Dame Judi Dench, and it has Rosamund Pike and Matthew McFadden as Darcy, who is really good. Like, he's a quiet, shy, kind of different kind of smolder than Colin Firth, but I think really attractive, and really that there's sort of this longing in there. And I mean, I actually feel like this movie could have been kind of how I felt about the 2011 Jane Eyre. I felt that movie could have been 15-20 minutes longer, and I kind of feel the same way about this. It actually could have been longer, which you don't say that often in Hollywood movies nowadays when they're all about 3 hours long. But I felt like a few scenes could have actually been fleshed out a little bit more. I felt like Wickham's character could have been fleshed out more. Lydia's personality could have been fleshed out a little bit more, and that would have made some of the drama a little more intense, and it would have made it a little better. But still, I feel like it's a really satisfying picture. It's really beautifully filmed. I like how there's sort of an earthiness to it. It's a little bit dirty. There's pigs, and you know, they really do get their skirts dirty, and it's just, I like that. So it's, I think, a very good film. Next, I have Princess Bride. And The Princess Bride, seriously, where I live here in Utah, like, you kind of have to like The Princess Bride. If you don't like The Princess Bride, I think you get booed from the state. It is so popular here. And I know it's kind of a Mormon favorite, and I think because it is pretty clean, and it's a really fun action movie, it's got comedy, it's something you can watch with your whole family. So I think that's why people really like it. I also think it's one of the rare cases where it's actually significantly better than the book, in my opinion. I thought the book was sort of pretentious and annoying, and in the movie, where there's these interruptions by the grandfather at reading the book to Fred Savage, that's probably my least favorite part of the movie, but there's way more of that in the book, and it's the author interrupting, giving his little like commentary, and I found that really annoying. And so for me, I actually like this movie much better than the book, and it's just so much fun. I don't know how you don't like Princess Bride. It's got great fencing scenes, it's got great humor, it's got Andre the Giant, it has the Forbidden Forest, it's got the Road of Usual Size. It's just so creative, it's so fun, and never takes itself too seriously. So this is definitely one that should be, I think, in everyone's library. Next, I have Princess Mononoke. And Princess Mononoke is a Studio Ghibli film, and it is a masterpiece. There's no question about it. It is pretty grown up, but I don't think too much so. It's this warrior who is on the search for this cure in the forest that'll save his life, and he becomes like involved with this battle between the humans and the forest creatures. And there's a princess who is raised by wolves, who's the princess of the forest. It's like this battle between like nature and the humans, and it's really great, and it's really creative, and it's beautifully drawn, and it's my second favorite Studio Ghibli film. I love Spirited Away just because it's even more creative, but this is fabulous. You can't go wrong. So this is a great variety. Paranorman, that's holiday collection. Got Perks of Being a Wallflower. We've got Pitch Perfect, Pride and Prejudice, BBC, Pride and Prejudice, Keira Knightley, Princess Bride, and Princess Mononoke. And I wanted to announce a giveaway over on my Facebook page, and I'll put a link down in the description section of this video. And it's a chance to be invited as a viewer of my Vudu collection. I can invite 5 people, and so I am giving an opportunity for one of my fans to be one of those people. And I have over 300 films in my Vudu library, so this is a huge giveaway. And I have TV series, and I basically downloaded all my DVDs onto the Vudu because it was only $1 each. It's pretty cool. And over the year or so, I've gotten that many. And I'm really excited to give that opportunity to one of you. It's a huge value. Go and enter as many times as you can. And there's different ways that you can enter. You can tweet, you can make comments on my channel, you can blog, make comments on my blog, whichever you prefer. So please go and enter that. I really would be grateful. And thanks so much for all your support. And I hope you're having a great day. Please subscribe to this channel. And thanks so much.